hooray for Hollywood. That's Hooray Valley, hooray Hollywood. Where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan.
And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases a tired businessman.
Hooray for Hollywood! You may be homely in your neighborhood.
Be an actor, see Mr. Factor, you make your kiss.
George, are you on Facebook by any chance?
Hooray for Hollywood!
Hooray for Hollywood! Today, Hollywood honors Walter Koenig. Now, before I bring our honoree to the stage, let me review just a few of his accomplishments. Born in Chicago, Walter Koenig spent his childhood in Manhattan. His parents, and if you hear anything you like, feel free to share. His parents were Russian Jewish immigrants from the Republic of Lithuania. He attended New York public grammar schools and did his first on-stage work in high school with the lead role in both Peer Gynt and Shaw's Devil's Disciple. He went on to college in Iowa and later transferred to UCLA. Now, there have to be a few Bruins out there. He received a BA in psychology, which of course helped him very much in his career. Walter's professional acting career spans 50 years of stage, television, and film work. He has appeared on television more than 100 times in no less than 42 separate roles. His remarkable talents and range as an actor have won him accolades for roles including everything from a teenage gang leader in Alfred Hitchcock Presents to a middle-aged Tom Sawyer in The Boys in Autumn. Walter was one of the 7 main cast members of the original Star Trek television And as we all know, that show aired originally from 1966 to 1969. The show is without question an iconic part of television history. Walter's character, Chekov, was more than just one of the 4 supporting crew members on Star Trek. Walter's performance gave viewers a witty, intelligent, and dedicated Russian patriot who was nearly impossible to dislike. Chekov is best known for his sense of humor, quirky accent, and oddball nationalism, which only illustrates that television audiences of the 1960s were able to accept his respected, efficient membership in the bridge crew so effortlessly that they completely forgot that the character was one of their most feared enemies at the time, a Russian. Now, a star-studded 2-day celebration for the 46th anniversary of Star Trek was held just this past weekend at the world-famous Egyptian Theater in the next block to kick off Walter's Star ceremony. Now, Walter has the notable and remarkable distinction of adding a second iconic character to the American television lexicon. In the 1990s, he again became well known throughout the world as Bester on Babylon 5. He was both the man we most love to hate, according to a 1997 poll of sci-fi fans, as well as the best villain in a series, the most evil and complicated character, according to a rating in 2006. Now, in addition to acting, Walter has written 5 teleplays that were produced for episodic television. He has shared his talents by teaching privately at UCLA and other acting schools. Walter has also been active in the community, lending his name, talents, and time to further causes that are close to his heart. They include the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. That deserves some applause. Actors and Others for Animals, the Actors Fund, and the U.S. Campaign for Burma, to name just a few. And so now, without further ado, let's bring to the stage our honoree, Walter Koenig.
whole 9 yards. And at the end of the evening, my husband said to me, very uncharacteristically, I think we ought to see him again. And I said, why? He said, I don't know. I like him. And then he added thoughtfully, he's an original.
Now our next speaker is most known to fans of science fiction for creating the Babylon 5 TV series. But he has also written and worked on such movies as Thor, Underworld Awakening, and Changeling, for which he was nominated for a British Academy Award for Best Screenplay. Please welcome J. Michael Straczynski to the stage.
About goddamn time. I've known Walter for over 20 years and have found astonishingly what a wonderful man this is, what an incredible talent he is. This is someone who, if you look at the Star Trek series, the reason that did so well, granted the writing was mostly pretty good. The actors brought those characters to life in such a way that it became not just a subculture, they became a part of the culture itself. If you make a Star Trek reference now, you don't have to explain it. As a kid, I mentioned a Klingon. What the hell is a Klingon? Well, we know now. You don't have to explain it. That's because of the craft and the intelligence and the professionalism brought to the roles by Walter and many others, who I was then blessed to inherit on Babylon 5 when he brought Bester to life for us and was able to be funny, charming, scary, and dangerous all in the same scene. Often in the same line, which creeped the heck out of us. We also share a love of science fiction and comic books. Walter is a comic book fan, as I am. He is a nerd, as I am a nerd. As most people in this room are nerds. Yeah. The war is over, we won. And this star today is the treaty by which we acknowledge we won the war.
And the City Council has approved a special resolution signed by the Council as well as the Mayor. In your honor, Walter, on behalf of the City, it's my pleasure to present you this resolution. And on that note, Walter, well, you know, this was the city that did this, Walter. What do you expect? They misspelled his name. But I assure you, the star is spelled correctly. Is that right, Anna? It is spelled right? All right. Well, we'll all find out when we unveil the star if it's spelled correctly. So, we'll get this corrected and have the city come out with a new edition here, Walter. But this will be very good if you want to sell it on eBay. So,
$100!
I'm sure someone will bid on it. So, without further ado, let me just say, in memory of our late great honorary mayor, Johnny Grant, we hereby declare this Walter Koenig Day in Hollywood. Yeah!
Thank you all, really, for coming out. It's a very touching experience and obviously a very memorable one. And even with my fault in memory, I'm sure I'll take this moment with me into the hereafter, because this is something very much to be proud of, and I am. When I was a college student and I walked Hollywood Blvd like lots of tourists do and lots of aspiring actors have in the past, you kind of look at it and you see it as something detached from you. It really doesn't have any consequence in your life other than to do all of these names, most of which you've heard of and appreciate it. So that this has happened, regardless of circumstances, regardless of the $150,000 you spend with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. I'm just really tickled, and I want to thank the people who are most instrumental. My wife, Judy Better. My daughter, Danielle Koenig. Her husband, Jimmy Pardo. Sky Conway for being incredibly loyal and making this happen as well during the weekend. And of course the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce and to absent friends. That's where my thanks and gratitude goes. So again, thank you very much.
Well, Walter, I understand that Leonard Nimoy would like to say a few words. Please go on.
Some things happen fast, and some things take a long time. This took a long time. Too long. Should have happened a long time ago, but we're happy to be here for Walter. A well-deserved day. I remember when Walter came on board the Enterprise. There were people that had reasons for bringing this character on board. At the time, our major adversary was the Russians, and it was decided that for the sake of showing a positive aspect for the future, it would be a good thing to have a Russian on board the Enterprise. So Walter was brought on board. Also at the same time, the Beatles were a big deal. And they had these interesting haircuts. So somebody said, for a little extra insurance, maybe we'll pick up some of the Beatle audience, we'll put a Beatle wig on him. And Walter came in, sat down with his excellent Russian accent and a Beatle wig. And something interesting happened, something unexpected happened. It turned out that Walter was a good actor. And he took these slim dimensions of the character that had been handed to him, and he created a three-dimensional flesh and blood person who made an enormous contribution to Star Trek over the years. I took advantage of the Russian accent myself, cashed in on it in Star Trek 4 when I directed him in Star Trek 4 and had him with his wonderful accent on the streets of San Francisco asking where he could find the nuclear West. We of Star Trek have been very blessed to have such a wonderful following for so many years, 46 years. Yesterday, since we've been on the air, and each and every one of the actors made an important contribution. Walter, as much as anybody, was there every time he was called on to deliver whatever the role was, whatever the role called for him. He knew how to do it. He was well trained, totally professional, delivered the goods every time. We're very grateful to him. So to Walter and all yours, your family, your friends, whatever, and especially to you, live long and prosper.
Yeah! All right, it's time to unveil the star.
Hi, Rick. We're here on Hollywood Boulevard celebrating Walter Koenig getting his long-awaited star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's been a great celebration. It's eminently well-deserved by Walter, and he's going to live long and prosper, and may I wish you the same.